The Jupiter Boys. Is it recording?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Jupiter Boys. My name is Jim Jupiter.
And my name is Quinn Jupiter, and I'm just a little stuffed up, so I apologize to the...
Quinn sounds like Griffin McElroy. We're two boys. We're from the planet Jupiter. We talk about things every single week.
That's right.
We have stupid conversations, so you don't have to.
And we do not have our coin that we flip to go first.
The Beatles
oh,
one.
yes.
Okay, which side?
Beatles, the white Beatles side, please.
The White Album. Oh, it's my
yours.
side.
It's your side.
So, Quinn.
Yes.
I was thinking this today, and it was unintentionally inspired by my Bim Bam. So it's more stolen content, as per the usual.
Stolen tech.
This whole show is stolen content. Well, we don't give advice. Although
No, we
we do say what we would do,
Yeah.
which is most of the time to rub our nipples and say, "I'm a squeaky duck." So
In like 9 out of 10 scenarios that somebody would imagine,
that's the best situation for most people. So anyway, my thing was, virtual, and this isn't my topic, so don't get all like, you've done this before. I know we've done it before multiple times, but virtual reality is sort of
virtual reality.
the real of the virtual.
Yes.
Real in a virtual way. She's a virtual girl in a real world.
Keep that in.
I totally am going to. And you probably won't even hear it on the podcast either. Somebody you'll have to go back and crank the volume, and it'll hurt your ears after when we start laughing. But so virtual reality. I was thinking the other day, it's not really virtual reality because
No.
all it really is video that it corresponds with your head movements.
Yeah.
That's really
That's all
it's
it is.
not. It's not all that it seems to be, right?
No.
Or with your movements in general.
Yeah.
So, to me, virtual reality would be one in which more than just your visual senses and your directional and your balance
Right.
senses were stimulated.
That's right.
Now, we've had this conversation before
Yeah.
where I said, true virtual reality, what would it be like? And we were basically like, oh, it'd just be porn.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what would sell. People would just die in their houses because they would just be in porn worlds all the time.
At the same time, would it be virtual reality? Would it still be considered what we know as virtual reality
If it's as close as the Matrix.
and if they designed it so that it stimulated something went into your brain and stimulated the nerves to make you feel like it was happening, and plugging you in like the Matrix or
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
actually activated your.
Okay, we've
nervous
had this
system.
conversation
Yeah,
before. You can
yes.
go back to episode 40, whatever.
Yes.
It's somewhere there.
I forgot about it, to be honest.
Until just now. But
Yeah.
I look at the episode titles all the time. So anyway,
Yeah.
basically my topic this week is let's not focus on all of the senses right away because
Okay.
Obviously it's not going to happen all the way right away.
No.
We're going to have to just like with virtual reality, we're going to do things that are easy first,
Yeah.
right? We started with vision.
Yep.
We've got sound. You can basically
That's
change
right.
the direction of sound fairly easily. Next is smell.
Smell.
Because I think taste is going to be tricky because
Yeah.
you have to find a way to deliver it into the person's face.
Yeah, exactly.
But smell, you can just sort of deliver in the atmosphere around the person. Now, I know what you're saying.
You have to have every random smell
Well,
generator.
that's what I thought you were going to say. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't need a generator with a billion smells in it. Okay? You don't. Because, the first person who invented the printer, did somebody say to them, well, you're going to need every fucking color? No.
You're just gonna need the colors you
Because
need.
you use the components of smells that you need.
That's right. And if somebody's going to,
So it's like ink cartridges
right?
of smells.
But do you
So,
buy? So you buy certain?
Yeah, you'd have to
smells?
buy certain ones. One would be musk. One would be
like that.
Well,
because because nobody could have a really bad experience on virtual reality because they would be in control of their stinks.
Yeah. So if you knew a movie was particularly smelly, take out the musk.
Yeah.
Pull out the skunk. Whatever cartridge controls the stink
Yeah,
centers.
exactly.
But at the same time, you need the stink centers to make the good smells sometimes.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Weed. Weed is kind of a funky smell. It's
But
a funky
kinda
junk.
Good. It's good.
Also, I'm thinking, if this was a thing,
Yeah.
porn would become simultaneously more popular and less popular. I think
I
a
think
certain
me
substrate of
too.
people would just like violently reject any smells having to do with sex or like
I think
specifically
that would
the
be pretty
rooms.
cool. To be honest,
Yeah.
I like kind of like. It's weird when you're in the moment. You
The funky stank.
You love the stank.
Yeah.
And then you just like sit in it for a while, just like you're like, I'm dirty. I'm dirty in the sex
But
smell.
like, I don't know if it works that way for other people's stinks. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
our noses are highly attuned enough that it's just like, this is kind of gross. And also, like, not only that, but like, if you had a way of recording all the smells in a room, you'd get like all the smells in that room,
Yeah,
right?
like,
Like,
all
you'd get the cameraman's like fucking garlicky breath,
Yeah.
and like the fucking sound guy like
Oh,
farts
yeah,
across the
it's
room, and
true.
you'd get that wafting
Oh,
across.
it's just the worst stinky.
It would just
stinky
be
mess.
it would just be gnarly, and like the
Think about
actual
what a porn
the actual
set smells
stinks
like.
of like just tanning oil and like fucking
Yeah.
like Cheeto dust, just disgusting.
And like,
I'm basically just describing the book Snuff by Chuck Palahniuk. You should
Beard.
read it; it's crazy.
is it?
Yeah, it's really nuts. Yeah, like so I think like porn would immediately like cease
Yeah.
to be, or at least people would like
I would
just like
take out the
no,
smell.
I'm opting out of the smell of
Yeah.
this one.
Oh yeah. Because I'd rather smell my fucking sheets.
What are some other movies that you would opt out of the smell of?
I'd opt out of the smell of
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs because it's just all the stink,
All the food stink.
all the food stink, and all the stickiness. Like, I just opt out of that one in general.
I'd opt out of the clumps.
The clumps is just, or the like the fatty, like Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, maybe anyone like, it's bad to say, but like anyone with like a homeless person in it, like the soloist, because you're like, it's the one with Jamie Foxx. He's like a world-class cellist,
But he
or
smells like
whatever.
shit.
Yeah, but that's the only reason that he's homeless. Man, you smell like shit. You're homeless now.
Castaway.
Castaway. Oh,
Although you'd probably smell like it would probably
Coconuts.
small pretty good.
It's like
in the end,
coconuts,
like he would
yeah.
keep himself like relatively clean, right?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. He's got like fresh water and stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't opt out of the smell of True Blood. Maybe it's just like copper
Yeah.
everywhere and like stinky
Any
South.
horror movie, really.
Yeah.
Fucking Seven.
7. Oh God. Oh, especially during the scenes. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, during the scenes. That's what I meant by being in the movie Seven.
Well, I didn't
was
want
actually
to spoil it for anybody listening, so for the scenes is a good non-spoiler, Jim.
Spoiler: there are 7 scenes.
Maybe more even. I don't know. I've watched the director's
There's
cut.
scenes in between the 7 scenes, but really in that movie there are 7 scenes.
That's true. That's very true.
Accurate.
David Finch did that on purpose. Okay, so what's another like sense of touch or like nerve or something? What is it?
Once again, Quinn loses the plot. Not even 3/4 of the way through.
Okay, senses. Okay, what else can we? What other senses are there? Oh, maybe like
Well, there's touch,
There's
but
touch.
like the thing is, it would start off like super rudimentary, right? So it would have to like start out like super brutal and like awful. So
and,
like,
your hand would just like move all of a sudden.
well, no,
like,
it wouldn't. No, it's not like controlling your motion. It's touching you. So like,
okay.
basically,
So
there
it'd
would
be
be
like
like
somebody
there would be a
slapping
movie
you.
where somebody slaps somebody and like you just feel it like in the face, like a rubber hand just like spins on an axle and just smacks the shit out of your face. Or like,
I think I hopped out of that too.
or like there's like a documentary about fish like flapping around, like, and it's like a big like pile of fish flapping around. Just like you just like get like a blast of fish stink right in the face and a bunch of slaps like all over your face. It's like an assault, and you try to take cover, but it's like attached to you, so it's just like it keeps finding the gaps.
Also, like, eventually they'd get to, like, the Michael Bay movies where, like, an explosion would happen. You'd be like, Jesus, fuck, that's hot. Like, holy shit.
Whoa! It's way too hot in here.
My face is burnt off. How are my eyebrows? Oh, they're gone. Because you shaved them and you
It's funny
simulated
'cause-
the burning.
It's funny because like if you did get to this stage where like we had like simulated like certain sensations,
Marvel
people
movies would be the worst.
Well,
'Cause you'd
yeah,
be
like
oh,
they-
Jesus, fuck, ow.
they'd be bad. But I mean, like, well, the thing is, like, you wouldn't like make them like full tilt pain, but some people would.
Some
Like,
people
that's
would.
the thing. Like, some people would have like X-rated sense machines that could like do more. You know what I mean? Like they like pushed the limits.
And eventually they could get it to where the pain was only in their heads and they don't actually have to hurt
Exactly,
themselves in real
yeah.
life. So they can just like
And that's what that episode we did is about. Is just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
plugging into your head and like delivering the sensation, the electrical stimulus.
exactly.
Like,
And like it'll eventually get to that point. I think like another thing I wouldn't want to experience in this senses is like I don't know, your sense of like
wonder.
yeah,
Your sense of childhood
'cause
abandon.
you can't fake that. But like maybe like deja vu. I wouldn't want to like feel that in the program.
Remember
'cause
we went in quickly while we end this up. Remember we went to Disney World one time when we did a 4D dinosaur experience and like this. No, it was like an alien thing. They were like transmitting an alien from one center to the other, and it escaped. And then like it was like the lights went out. It was like stomping around the room, and you could feel it. And then it breathed hot air behind your neck.
I was like 4. So
Okay,
no.
well that's the end of that topic.
That sounds rad.
That was probably back when I was wiping your ass.
Most definitely.
Quinn,
Yes.
you have a topic for? Oh, actually, hold up. Hold the fucking phone.
I will hold the fucking phone.
We need to talk to the listener today about a little film saga called The Animal Saga.
Oh, this is one of my favorite sagas, to be honest.
It is like among the better sagas. It features Spiders Will Eat Your Face, Goldfish Bowl, Death by Glass, and
Hamsters,
A History. Fucking, I didn't even look at the copy.
No, we did
You can
not.
get all of those great pet films directed by Mike Fallick of Big Weasel, Little Weasel.
Great guy.
Super dude, great podcast. His podcast is called Let's Start a Cult. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Deepu, you're also amazing.
Yeah, he's R2Deepu on Twitter. Follow him. Mike's Big Weasel, Little Weasel, I believe.
Big Weasel, Little Weasel. Yeah. .club.
But yeah, you can get you can go to bigweasellittle.club or Amazon and get those fine films. You can also go to Mike's Twitter. He just posted them, and I'm actually keen to check them out.
Yeah, they're good.
Anyway, back to the show. Quinn,
Yes.
what's your topic this
I'm
week?
glad you were talking about movies earlier because this is a little segment that I'm going to bring up maybe
Once every 3 episodes.
not that often, but maybe once every 50 episodes. I'll make it once every 50 episodes.
Okay.
This is quiz questions about movies. Okay.
Okay.
So,
I like that little jingle.
thank you.
Can we do it 1 octave higher?
Quiz questions. No, that's like 6. Quiz questions about movies.
I think that was a slightly different melody, but I'm into it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I have some. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show within the show.
It's Quinn's Questions About Movies was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
It's one dude. It's really uncomfortable. Jerry, take a halls. We told you before we. Oh my god. Anyways, this is the show where Quinn, me, the host, asks Jim, the co-host or guest, if you will. Those are 2 different things.
Those are totally different
Don't
things.
look it up. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to ask you some questions about movies.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, Quinn. I'm excited that I finally got on the show. Long time watcher, first time guest. Big fan.
Thank you. We've even got one of those sidekicks over there, Clancy the Turtle. Let's talk about Clancy.
Clancy the Turtle. Oh my god, I've seen you on TV. I love you. I just want to put you in my butt.
Thank you. Anyways, I was going on my monologue. No, we don't have time, Clancy. Sorry about
not
that.
Now.
Sorry
Come on,
about that. You're only the sidekick.
We got a show to do.
Andy Richter doesn't do the monologues. It's Conan O'Brien. Let's be real here. Okay, so first question of the podcast
Yes, Quinn?
is, what are some movies that you watched the first time, you didn't really like them, you're maybe like a little lukewarm on them, and then you watch them a second time, they were like straight fucking banger. Now, I know you don't. I read somewhere that you don't like to watch movies too many times if you don't like them. Now let me get your answer on this one.
Yeah, that tends to be fairly true. I don't often give movies a second chance.
Yeah, huh? No, I'm just gonna drop this weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of movies like that. Or at least none are coming to mind.
Right.
I'm sure there is one. I somehow, for some reason, I feel like Chocolat was one of them.
Okay, I've never seen Chocolat.
Not the Johnny Depp one, the other one. Or no, I'm thinking of Amélie, I believe.
Amélie?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, that movie, the first time I saw it, I think I was barely paying attention, and it really annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then I watched it for real, and I was like, oh my god.
You know what movie grew on me? Or, like, the first time I watched it, I didn't really get that much out of it. And then the second time I watched it, I literally cried my eyes out, was Arrival. And I watched Arrival in the theaters, and I think because I didn't know what I was going into, like, I didn't know what kind of movie I was walking into, and, like, the fact that I was surrounded by people made it hard for me to feel my emotions, and I feel like that's been the case for a few emotional movies in theaters where, like, I can't feel like alone enough to cry or to, like, have like the real emotion of it. And, like, certain movies I will, like, just, like, tune everybody away, and like I just recently saw Annihilation, and I just tuned everybody away and had my feels and just, like, felt like the tingles from just, like, how masterfully done that movie was. It's an amazing movie.
I thought of another one is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Okay.
The first time I saw that, because I was, like, sort of ready for a different kind of Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
It did not appeal to me whatsoever.
I think I watched that the first time. I didn't really get it because I hadn't been a Wes Anderson fan at that point. And then I watched it again, and I was like, "Yeah, this is amazing."
For that matter, probably the Royal Tenenbaums, because I think I saw that before I really knew what Wes Anderson was about.
Yeah, I think we watched it together for the first time. I think you watched it for the first time. Like, you were like, "Yeah, this is a movie Royal Tenenbaums," and we watched Darjeeling Limited. But I don't know if it was your first time watching that.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I think we might have watched that for the first time both together. And I had no idea what it was, but you've introduced me to a lot of movies and weird things that I wouldn't ever get into.
As have you, sir. As have you.
So, second question. Let's move on to the second question.
Oh, good. I'm excited.
I've come up with a few questions.
That's good, because it is your job as the host. It's like literally your only job.
That's right. So, what is a movie from a usually terrible director that you just fucking love? You just dig the shit out of. Like, it could be like a Michael Bay, could be like a Tim Burton, because I think Tim Burton's a fucking hack.
Yeah.
It could be
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. You know,
I think Unbreakable is a really fucking great movie.
That's a great movie.
Oh, you know what? You know what's a great movie by M. Night Shyamalan? Lady in the Water. And everybody dumps on that fucking movie. I get it, but, like, I really find that movie so charming and simple and sweet.
Yeah.
And there's just something about it that's just like...
And there's so much atmosphere to that movie. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of, like...
And Paul Giamatti sells it. Bryce Dallas Howard sells it.
Exactly.
That's what's important, you know?
Even M. Night sells it. Let's be real here.
Yeah, it's true.
Split's pretty good, too.
Split was pretty good.
One from me is Big Fish by Tim Burton. I think that is just such a... It's such a Tim Burton movie that's not a Tim Burton movie. You know, like, it's not him trying to be...
It's like Ron Howard made a Tim Burton movie.
Exactly. And, like... You think about that movie and you're like, you just get good tingles from it. Like, you just feel, like, nice.
You got to start listening to ASMR. You talk about the tingles like crazy.
I do talk
about
into
them tingles.
I got to get into the tingles. I got to get into those a lot.
There's a few ASMR apps, and they're real good.
I got to get into those. So, so next question. Will you leave a movie in a movie theater if you hate it? Like, will you leave halfway?
Yes, I have done it.
Okay, but you didn't do that for Suicide Squad. And we should have just, like, all looked at each other at a certain point in the movie and been like, do you want to get the fuck out of here? Because this movie's
I liked Suicide Squad slightly more the second time I watched it, but not so bad. Not much more. And like, it's still not a favorite of mine.
It's just so badly clunkily written. Like,
yeah,
it's like
it was, like, stylistically quite nice.
Yeah.
And they just fucked everything else up.
Yeah, because the colors were cool. Like, everything visually, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool.
All the costumes were real great. Yeah. Like,
the costumes. It's a Oscar-nominated movie.
Yeah, it actually deserved the nom for the special effects. Like,
totally.
That's the thing that it was good at. You know what I mean? Like, when people were dunking on that, I was like, fuck you. Like,
you know what? I have never walked out of a movie theater, and I watched fucking Jack and Jill in the movie theater, and I did not walk out. And the only reason I did not walk out is
almost walked out of Funny People. Holy fuck.
You were with me.
Yeah, that was a terrible movie.
You didn't like that movie. That's a classic, man. A lot of people love that fucking movie.
What a terrible film.
It's pretty bad.
It's so bad.
I don't really like it.
It's so long and rambling and has no fucking point.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. I've watched it back and I'm like, there's some funny moments in that movie, but mostly it's about depressed people.
I have to give The Big Sick another chance because it felt like when I started watching The Big Sick, I was like, oh no, this is funny people too. Like it, like literally, like I was 10, 15 minutes in, and I was like, this is funny people too. Like this is the same fucking movie.
It gets
where
it
like
gets
supposedly
real.
funny people aren't funny at all.
Dude, it gets real. Like it
No,
gets a lot more emotional.
I gather that from like the whole premise of the film,
And
but like
it's got great Ray Romano was one of the best performances.
Deborah!
And Holly Hunter, they're
Deborah!
both great. And it's Ray Romano at his most subtle.
did you know that at one point Holly Hunter was the richest actress on television?
That's amazing. Good for her.
Yeah.
Okay, another question before we wrap up because we got about 2 minutes left. Movies that genuinely surprised you with your tears. So movies that made you cry and then
Arrival.
you're like, whoa.
Arrival made me cry without like me knowing what was happening because like it was like it's one of those movies where like we shouldn't reveal the twist at the end, but there's a twist towards the end.
Yes.
That fucking gut punches you.
Yeah.
So hard.
Oh yeah.
And like it's the final piece of the puzzle clicking into place, and you're like, oh Jesus.
Yeah.
And it just like hurts your heart real bad.
Yeah, and like there's certain scenes in that movie where like they just blow you away and you're just kind of like crying and you're like, why am I crying? Why am I crying? What is happening?
I know.
Like,
to be honest, even though like everybody knew, like everybody was like, the book made me cry, and
Fault
like
in
I
Our
knew,
Stars.
yeah, The Fault in Our Stars. The book made me cry, and I knew that it was gonna make me cry, but like I was like, this isn't gonna make me cry because like I'm like I know what's coming.
I bawled too.
Fuck,
and
like-
I had read the book too.
Like
and
we're just like, God damn it! Like
yeah,
good performances.
if there was like a Looking for Alaska movie,
Oh.
I'd sob.
it would slaughter me.
Okay,
I haven't read Turtles all the way down, but I'm assuming a teenage girl dies in it.
one for me that nobody knew that they were gonna make you cry. The Intern.
Oh yeah,
That movie made me bawl.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, you texted me saying like it's gonna make you cry, and I was like, fuck that. It's a movie about fucking Robert De Niro trying to get back in the workforce. It can't make me cry.
It's so much more.
It's so much more.
Like I'm like I want to cry just thinking about that movie.
oh, he tries so hard.
I know. It's like, oh, that truly was the greatest generation.
The grandparents' generation, right before the shitty Gen Xers.
All right, that's the end of that topic. Thank you for listening. Don't know why you're here. You wound up in the gutter of the online media landscape.
Welcome to my lair.
You've met the gutter king.
There's some cookies in the corner, and an N64. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So you could get merch, including Quinn. Please tell them what includes
Dave Franco's Dream Boys.
official merchandise.
That's right.
The DFDB.
Designed by me,
Yeah, designed by me, drawn by you,
crafted
crafted
with
by,
love
Yeah, by Quinn Jupiter.
by Redbubble.
No, we crafted it. Redbubble just sells it. Just
That's right.
prints it.
That's right.
But you can go to the link in the description and get that shit. You can also subscribe or leave a review if you want to help us without paying money.
Yeah.
That's a really good free way of doing it. Or you can just tell a friend, tweet it, put it on the tweeted blast.
Twit that shit.
I like that. I'm not sure. You probably weren't the first person to say it.
Nah.
Thank you to all the new listeners in weird countries that, like I've never heard of. It's cool. It's really cool.
Tanzania.
Literally is actually one of them.
Dang.
I know.
Got it in one.
Yeah.
But I've heard of that country.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
in Africa, right?
Yeah, I've heard of all of the countries, but I mean, just like, I don't know them.
Yeah.
I don't know them. So, thank you all for listening. Shoot those nuts.
We didn't thank Christogram.
Thank you to Christogram for the use of our theme music.
Christogram is about as international as it comes for people across the world.
Shoot those nuts.
Straight down your rambling music. What dolphin shark?